Be still and know that I am God. As we look at that picture of the water running peacefully through the forest, we relax. We relax into that place where we feel whole, we feel healthy, but most especially, we feel loved. For we are children of God, brought here by divine appointment to this place, to this experience, to this lifetime. We are so grateful for the friends, for the people who have led us to this time and place in our lives. What wonderful gifts we have all given each other to be there in our times of need, to be there in times that we wish to be loved, and in times that we need to learn how to love ourselves. I Believe is one of the most beautiful songs ever written. I believe in myself, both with a large S and with a small s. I believe in myself. And we take that affirmation together within. I believe in myself. For God has made me in His image, in its image. I am at peace with myself. I am free within. There are no chains can bind me. I am free. And as I go deeper into this time of quiet and meditation, I let myself relax and release from all that might concern me at this time. And I simply breathe, allowing my shoulders to relax, allowing my entire being to be me. And as I need to, I enter into that place of silence within and allow whatever message to come to me, to my awareness of how loved we truly are, how loved we are, and we bless those that come to our mind as we are in the silence together. We are so grateful for the love that lives within us. We are so grateful for the life experience that we can learn to love ourselves. And in that learning to love ourselves so deeply, as Jesus taught, we must learn to love ourselves first before we can love others. And as we are learning that, we are so grateful to be free from all that would haunt us, from all that would drag us down, and we are free to experience Spirit lifting us up, lifting up our lives so that we can live fully expressing. We are so grateful for this time and this place as we return and sing our gratitude. And so it is.
So I have some news that we would call of the not good variety. And so I need you to just breathe with me for a second. Those of you who were here for our beautiful new member orientation that happened here recently might remember the young gentleman, Todd, who joined our congregation on that Sunday, and Todd passed away this Monday. And so we breathed. And it was shocking and stunning and difficult for all of us to hear. He was very young, and we don't know precisely what happened yet, but we believe that it was due to uncontrolled diabetes or complications from diabetes. He will be having a memorial this Tuesday at I want to say it right, Stevenson Nelson. I always want to say it backwards. At Stevenson Nelson Funeral Home in Avon Park. If anybody would like to show respects or show support for his family, there is going to be a visitation at 10 a.m. and then a service at 11. I will be there to do the service with the family. So if any of you would like to come, please feel free to come and support his family. And hold the knowing. Some of you who knew Todd knew that life was a real struggle for him. You know, some people move through life and they're bouncy and happy and they find so much to be grateful for, and some people seem to have the deck stacked against them. And Todd had a very, very difficult path through this life. He did not have a lot of peace. And so I will tell you, for me, that I am holding on to in this moment, knowing that he's such a young person and knowing that the family is hurting. And I invite you to do the same if you choose, I am holding on to the fact that I know that he is at peace right now. And I am choosing to celebrate that part for him. I know how difficult, well, I don't know. I know as much as I know about how difficult things were. And I know that I feel, that I believe, that I grasp onto my gravity of what this is that he now is released and free and finally is not struggling with the fact that this life is happening. I am here. If anybody needs to talk, if anybody wants to pray, if anybody thinks what I said was just weird and bizarre and sacrilegious, I am here. So please, if there is anything we need to talk about in any aspect of that announcement or what's happening around it, please give me the opportunity to talk to you. I would love to do that. And So we have this beautiful ceremony yesterday. I left on retreat this week for a 4-day ministerial come apart with my tribe and retreat and relax. Ha ha. I had the most beautiful 3 hours floating in the pool on Wednesday afternoon until every bit of me looked like a raisin. And me and a few of the other ministers, we just pruned ourselves and sat and talked and laughed and loved. And Daniel Nemad was with us for the entire retreat. And so any activities that we did, he played us in, he played us out. It was absolutely wonderful to have him there. It was great to be able to spend deeper and different time with him than getting ready for a concert here or whatever it was. It was a wonderful, beautiful time of bonding, of steeping in life. And I found out that Todd passed while I was getting ready to get in my car and leave on Monday morning. So we're always holding, right? There's always this dance between where we need to be and what we're expected to do and what we're feeling about the things that are happening and stepping into plans that we've done and being sad and being glad. I mean, it's all in this big giant ball of life that's happening in and for and through and with us every inch of our way through it. So I wanted to address the song Defying Gravity, and I don't know how many of you have watched the new movie or have watched the musical or are familiar, but you know, it's the story of the Wicked Witch of the West, basically, her origin story that was just put into a movie. And this Defying Gravity, well, I love the movie that they just did because it really shows that whenever there's a backstory, and there's always a backstory, we don't know what brings people to the places they get to the things that they do, the reasons that they do what they do. We don't know. We truly don't know. And we might not even truly know for ourselves. Even when it's happening inside of ourselves, we're like, well, excuse me, because I'm going to cuss. How the hell did I get here again? You know, it's like something's up in our face and we're like, well, what? I was going along really well. I already did this. How many times have we heard somebody say, I already faced this one. I went through this. I knew this. But my friends, life moves in a spiral. So we are continually revisiting everything that has ever happened in here. It's all still in here. And so we're continually moving around in these spirals, allowing ourselves to move through differently. See, for me, it's not about defying gravity, because there's something we know in unity. We know that there is energy at the core of everything. We know for sure that what we resist persists. That the more energy we ball up and get ready fighting something, the stronger it gets. The more force we give it, it's just fuel to the fire. Everything we sit and ruminate over and over again, swearing that we won't do that again, or swearing that, the more we do that, the universe goes, oh, hold on, I'm taking notes here. So we're going to do that one more time so that you're sure you're not going to do it again? That's what this experience is about. It's about moving through these situations, and the universe is saying, are you open yet? Did you get it the last time? Is this the fourth or fifth relationship where the same guy showed up wearing a different face? Or girl? Right? And do you know what the common denominator is in every relationship you have? Yeah. Crap. Yeah. Me again. Every time. It's always me again. Here I am. No matter what happens. See, there's the invitation in everything that we step up to that says this time, and like I said, for me it's not about defying gravity. It's about defining gravity. We know these days how many planes are going to take off and how many airports in the amount of time that we're going to be sitting in here. 200,000-pound aircraft are soaring in the air seamlessly, floating on air. It seems like it couldn't happen. But what we did was we defined gravity. We knew what the pull was, or is. We know exactly how fast you have to go to push beyond the pull. We know how long the wings need to be so that they can give lift. We know all of these things in this beautiful science that guides us through the ways that the universe works. So we know all of these things. So it's not defying gravity. Flying an airplane is not going, gravity, whatever. That's not what it is. It's going, okay, I've got it. I know what gravity is now. I understand what it does. I know how it works. And if I would like to move in such a way that allows me to lift beyond it, then there are some things I need to do. There are some ways I need to show up. Our habits, our routines, they can be so lovely. The first night I went to retreat, it's at Day Spring Episcopal this year. It was at Day Spring Episcopal, isn't it beautiful, Sunny? Day Spring Episcopal Retreat Center in Parrish, Florida, a little bit north of Bradenton. And beautiful, just, woodsy water, all this kind of stuff. And the first night I got, and it's kind of like going to summer camp. Because it's these little cabins that have 4 little bedrooms that everybody goes into at night, but there's the common area so that everybody can have fellowship and hang out and everything, which we did till almost 1 o'clock every morning because, that's the way we are. But when I got there the first night, I was like, it's wonderful. I shut off the lights. It was so dark, I could not even contemplate what light was when I shut off the lights. So that first, I'm like, wait. I need a little bit of light if I've got to use the restroom, if I got to do something. So we go through, we define the parameters we're within so that we might find comfort, so that we might find something we can hold on to that we know does a certain thing when we do a certain thing or works a certain way. That comfort, the laws of the universe, the way that things work so that we might also work. Right? Or not work as in do a job, but work as in do what we would like to do or have things move the way we would like to have them move. And the first night, and I lay in this bed, and I'm like, oh, wow, summer camp bed. Okay. Yeah. Really love my mattress at home, So we move through these times of, some of them are so huge where the bottom falls out of your life, and some of them are just minor inconveniences, like they don't have your kind of coffee or something, So we are invited to really know ourselves and know the parameters that we need around us so that we might define gravity and thrive. Right? We want to thrive. We want to move through things. We want to figure things out. I'm a big figure outer, and I'm always trying to figure everything out. And, I really don't want to tell on myself with what's going. Let me try to move past this and not say this stuff. Okay. Yeah. So these habits, these beliefs, these routines, these expectations, no, I'm going to have to do it. Doggone it. I would really love you guys not to know something about me. But I've told you this so many times, like, what happens here? What happens up here? It works in me all week. When I know what my talk is, everything that happens during the week, I go, oh, I could use that. Oh. So I throw myself up there like some sort of bizarre science project, Like my whole life is this science project. And some of you know of my, oh God, I don't want to do this, of my foray into the dating world, right? My husband passed away 3.5 years ago, next month, and it's been a long time, and I told you quite some time ago about a gentleman from the gym that had asked me out and that had thrown me kind of in a tailspin, and I didn't know what to do, and it threw me back into mourning and threw me in different places in my life. We're defying our gravity, right? Something happens, something approaches us, and we go, okay, where does this fit in my life? What does it mean about me? How do I how do I work through this? How does it fit into my life? Well, it took me 6 months to say yes, that I would go on a date with him. Because the whole time my gut said, nope, not him. Nope, don't do this. Probably not a good idea. And I just kept going, but he's here. But this was brought to me, but shouldn't I figure out what's going on? And then the gut keeps going, I don't think so. So I told you we went out on a date. I told you that that's all I really told you. And so beyond that, since that time, there has been this dance of what is relationship? What does relationship look like? What does it feel like? What happens? Where am I? Where is he? Well, apparently I'm a lot clearer about life than maybe he would be. And it has become very apparent that this is not a good idea. Have you ever been ghosted? I never had. And some of us are so resistant to talking about what's in front of us or what we're feeling or what's happening within us that we simply can't. So he did it once. And I said, if there's a conversation, I counsel, I work through things in my life. If there's a conversation we need to have, please let's do that. We did. Absolutely. No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. I thought, well, okay, but it sure feels like I might have been right here. Okay, I'll step back in. No. Ghosted. Stepped back in again, going, oh, okay, so I'm defining the gravity, right? I'm defining where this is going, and my intuition is telling me one thing. My God guidance device inside is saying, I don't think so. His words were saying, yes, please. His actions were iffy, and he did it again. So this time I allowed the ghosting. So it's now been 2 weeks. So you know what I did last night? Okay, so here's, I know this might turn out to be a mistake, but I've had several friends tell me, dating today is much different than it has been, and you really need to use social media to meet people. I live in a small town now. I don't know how many people there are of my age. Where I've been going, I haven't seen a lot. I cannot date within my congregation. You people might already know that, but not okay. And or even if it's affiliated with Unity. So I need to meet more people. I need to expand my social circle. And people have been telling me there's this thing on Facebook called Facebook dating. It's free. Trish, you should do it. Yeah, it wasn't me, she says. Defining gravity. Stepping into the possibilities of what could be in something. Knowing that others' expectations and experiences don't define yours. Knowing that when you walk into something open-eyed in possibility, but simply see, like I say, I put myself out there like some bizarre science experiment because I'm willing. To me, whether it's good or bad is not the point. It's having the experience. It's learning to understand myself and others more than I did before. And I thought, you know what? I'm feeling a little salty about men right now and their ability to communicate. And so I'm going to take that saltiness and I'm just going to explore a little bit and see, I wonder if there are men in the general vicinity that might be eloquent and able to communicate. So I went onto Facebook dating, and I started to go through the process of setting up a profile, right? And I thought, okay, well, let me just see how this works. So I go through the process, I'm answering all these questions, I'm doing all this kind of stuff, I'm thinking spiritual thoughts. And the first time I did it, I thought, oh God, you are just nuts. What are you doing? Stop it. I exited out. It said, do you want to save this? I said, oh, hell no. And I exited right out. And I was like, nope, I'm not going to do this. And I thought, you know what? That was an interesting exercise in finding out what's in here. It was a very interesting exercise. Seriously, I recommend the thought of trying to describe yourself, your wants, your needs, what you would look for in another person. It was a fascinating exercise. So last night, I thought, I need to follow that thread, and I won't activate it, but I'm going to do it again. So I went through last night, and I followed the thread, and I went through and answered all the questions, and it starts giving you possible matches and where they are. And so, and I thought, well, no, I'm not going to do this. Exit. Guess what? It posted. Now, I did not activate it. So I don't know if Facebook lets you mess around with it one time and then goes, oh no, you were here before. You do this, let's do this. So it posted. So I started conversing with two different people in the general vicinity last night. And you know what? It was just fun. I don't have any expectation. I don't expect to find Mr. Right. I had Mr. Right. I had the love of my life. And I realized in the experience I had with Jim Guy that, wow, I need to understand what I'm feeling in relation to others, what I'm communicating in relation to others, what I am allowing in myself, where are my boundaries. I need to know where all of that stuff is. If I'm supposed to stand up here and help all of us through things, I need to be willing to step out on the edge and to define gravity and to decide where it is. Now, here's the thing, because there's been other stuff that's happened relationship-wise that I've told you how many times standing up here that the things that we give so much energy to get energized. And I have had some very specific worries and fears since my husband died about what it would be like if I ever decided to step into relationship again. And do you know, in a very short amount of time, because I'm really good at this stuff, I manifested every single one of those in 3 different men almost simultaneously. Yeah, right? Yes! It didn't feel like yes. But it gave me that space of going, no, Trish, you really are putting this out into the universe and curious and wondering, and are you up for this? See, we can say, that's it, I throw up my hands, the devil's in the details, whatever, I'm just going to close my heart and move on. Or we can realize how juicy every learning experience is. See, the guy who's ghosted me, he's in so much pain right now. And he's going through some real specific stuff in his life that is nearly impossible to go through on your own. So what do? Minister Trish, I'm happy to be your friend through this. He probably heard, run as fast as you can. Get away from her. She's crazy. Because I'm feeling like, look, we were brought together for a purpose. Let me help you through whatever's going on in life. And he's like, you're nuts. You're just a crazy person. So each thing is there to give us something new to work with. some new space and time to jump off of and to redefine our boundaries, to be clear about how capable we are. I was so afraid that I would get myself in a situation where I couldn't stand up and say what I needed or wanted. I was so afraid that I would be put in positions that I didn't feel safe in. And you know what? I'm kind of a badass.
Yes!
I have cussed 3 times from this platform today. Okay. But that's the thing. It's like, that's what we're being invited to move toward, is own your power. Be brave enough to step into situations that you don't know exactly where they're going, but they're there in front of you, helping you defying gravity. They're helping you say, here's where I have a hard time lifting off. Here's where the world gets really heavy for me. Here's what scares me. And guess what? I am capable so much more than I ever gave myself credit for. I can speak up for me. I can say no and mean it. And I can do things that keep myself safe and spiritually thriving, all while stepping into this little jar of whatever it is that I create in my life, you know? So I invite all of us into that. You can say, oh my gosh, that's horrible. I can't believe I went through that. I never want to do it again. Or I've got a homework assignment for us all this week. We often make lists. So I saw this morning before I was leaving when I checked on my Facebook. So our homework is to make a new list this week. And the list is called Good Things Are Always Happening to Me. Good things are always happening to me. And this week, as you go through the week, look for things you can add to that list. Because our focus defines our gravity. Our focus is saying, oh, this happened, but wow, isn't it a rich experience? This gentleman that ghosted me, my heart goes out to him. Because I know why he did it. I know why. Because we've talked enough about who I am and who he is and what I'm going through and what he's going through that I know that it was the only thing he could do when faced with the fears he was being faced with. It ain't about me. It's about him and his journey and his gravity. Stand in your boundaries. Stand in your wants and needs and hopes and dreams. Define the gravity around them and then allow yourself to fly. And so it is.
Thank you for joining us today. Please visit www.unityofsebring.org for more information, to submit a prayer request, or to donate to our ministry. We hope to see you again very soon.